Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Sunday, the 7th of May. Almost forgot the month, 2023. A little bit of a different day today because today I only did one stream. And on that one stream, we did a level 1 podcast, and we actually continued with Jedi Survivor, although it kind of was a unique stream of Jedi Survivor, which we're going to talk about right now. Now, don't worry, tomorrow we're getting back to normality. We'll talk about that in a moment, but let's recap what happened today. So on today's Level 1 podcast, it was a very much relaxed and chill session. And what I mean by that is there really was no gaming news going on. There really was no big updates in anything. So instead of actually having to focus on that kind of stuff, we just talked for a very long time, about 90 minutes, and we had various topics that were discussed. It was pretty cool because we started coming up with some other ideas. Like we started talking about future events and things, and some people actually came up with some interesting ideas for my 15th anniversary that's coming up in September. Maybe do a playthrough of one of the games that was one of the first games I ever played on YouTube, but actually didn't do a full playthrough of. There's a few of those. Maybe go back down memory lane and do a retrospective event where we watch some classic playthroughs or reviews or projects I've done over the years. Some pretty good ideas. And so it was a really great chill podcast. If you want to watch it, I recommend it. Was one of those no drama nonsense, more focused on interesting stuff kind of deals. Give it a look from this morning, okay? Then we continue with the Star Wars Jedi Survivor playthrough. And I'll be honest here, I kind of got obsessed with beating a very difficult challenge boss, okay? So last time around, I tasked myself with beating the Spawn of Ogdo, which is an incredibly tough boss. The problem is the frame rate's so bad in the game, it's super hard to fight. If it's not running at 60 frames, it's very hard to do any kind of reactions or whatever, and it just makes this boss so hard, and the boss can insta-kill you. I took about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to beat it, and I beat it last stream, and then we continued on with the story, with exploration and plot. This time around, guess what happens? I unlock an optional boss fight. It's the Spawn of Ogdo and his father, the regular Bogdo Ogdo, from the first game, together, 2v1 boss fight. The difference is it's in a virtual arena where the game actually does run at 60 frames per second, so the controls work to some extent. There's still issues. For example, if you try to jump and you're not exactly in the right spot, the game will not give you a jump. It'll give you this weird flip back, and now you get hit when the only way to dodge certain attacks from these enemies is a jump. It's stupid because it's not consistent. And I was finding that in the controls of the game, there are some inconsistencies, which is frustrating for a game like this, where you need everything to come out, because essentially it's like Star Wars Dark Souls, right? I spent almost 2 hours on today's stream. I became obsessed with beating them, and I did. So thankfully, I did beat the dual Ogdo boss fight, okay? Thankfully. And I'm happy I did, and now it's done. But man, it wasn't worth it. I got 1 skill point for doing it. So everyone's like, oh, hallelujah when I did it, because some people were so upset I was taking so much time on the stream to do this. And then I finally did it, and then people were like, so what do you get? Oh, like nothing, like 1 skill point. It's pathetic. You think for doing a double boss fight that's insanely hard, you should get like, 5 skill points, 1. And everyone's like, oh, well, that's because you can come back later in the game and do it. I'm like, well, that's fucking stupid. What video game do you play where there's a super hard challenge boss at the very beginning, and there's no good reward for it because they say, oh, come back later? Then don't put it at the beginning of the game. Put it later in the game. It's bad game design. It's stupid. Anyway, after completing that optional boss, then I continued on with the main story. We went towards the forest array. There was an optional exploration and an optional temple I did, and then we actually headed further into the main area. New enemies, mini bosses and stuff. Pretty fun, all right? The graphics still don't hold up. The graphics are still very, very choppy. And then get this. As I'm doing the main story of the game, I'm about 15 minutes into this new story area, and I open a chest, and it's a pair of pants called the Hunter's Pants. And as I go to equip them, the game crashes. I reboot the game. It saved nothing of my progress whatsoever from actually going into the forest array, forcing me to replay over 15 minutes of gameplay, and I rushed through it the second time, and I'm like, this game is so unpolished. A frame rate that's not stable, controls that sadly aren't consistent, and now the game's crashing. Like, what happened here? Because if you take away the unpolishedness nature of the game, if this game were polished, the plot, the actual visuals besides the frame rate dips, the mechanics that work, the lightsaber combat, it's fun. It's a fun game. It's just a mess because it feels like it needed 6 more months to be polished that they didn't give it. I don't know what happened or what they were thinking. I really feel like they ruined this game releasing it this way. I'm going to keep playing it. I had a ton of fun in that, that second half of today's stream. After I beat the dual boss and went on to the main plot, I was having a good time. It just sucks that we have to have these sessions that are so incredibly frustrating. So, good progress. I did upload, so you'll see the Level 1 podcast and the Star Wars videos are uploaded to the channel. And that's the content for today. Why no second stream and why no late stream tonight? Well, tonight I was filming private videos for patrons, private react videos, that is. And I had to do three of them. 2 of them for Slayer, who everyone knows. I usually do like a K-pop and something different. And there was another one for someone else that remains anonymous. They wanted it to be private, so I had to work on that tonight. And then finally, yes, I'm going to say this, to end the nonsense. Yes, I know I already said that, but more nonsense continues. I made one final video, my final answer for Keemstar. And that's going live. You'll see it on the channel here tonight. That's all I have to say about it. I'm literally now, from now on, ignoring everything about that man. I'm done with him completely. I can't believe this is still persisting. After the last 2 times I made it abundantly clear, now I'm actually literally done 1,000,000%, to the point where I feel like I'm getting harassed by this guy and I'm done with it. So that's that. Watch it if you want. If you're not interested in the drama nonsense, don't. But that's the end of it for me. Tomorrow we are fully into normal content and fun stuff. I hope you'll join me for that. What will it be? First stream tomorrow will be the Level 1 podcast, where we'll see if there's game news or whatever, or it may just be another chill session. And then it's going to be Elden Ring. Now, last time we got hooked up on the God Serpent / Riker boss. I don't know if we'll try to beat him, because it looks like I have to respec to beat him. I don't know if I really want to respec right now, so maybe we'll just leave. And who cares? Like 19,000 runes. I really don't care. We will go do another dungeon, right? There's many other optional things to do. We could go to the Imperial City. We could go to Astal River and then go to Noxtella. Or we could go to the Deep Root Depths and do any of those optional. Well, I guess the Imperial City technically isn't optional. But we could do any of those things and have a good time with it. So maybe we'll do one of those. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll do a poll and people will choose what they want me to do first. And we'll go from there tomorrow on the Elden Ring stream. The late stream tomorrow night is something completely unique and different. It's not on DSP Gaming. It's over on the sister channel, DSP Reacts. So check it out, youtube.com/@DSP Reacts. A tier maker stream. We are going to be ranking all of the Zelda games. All right? I'm very excited for this. So, it's going to be basically all the Zelda games I've ever played. It's going to include, you know, the old school console games from the NES, Super NES. It's going to include the HD versions of games I played recently. Some cases I played 2 versions of the games, and I'm going to rank them against each other. And the thing is, I know how contentious Zelda can be. The only amiibo I even own is from Twilight Princess HD. All right? This is going to be a special stream. I hope you'll join me tomorrow, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time on DSP Reacts for my next awesome late-night tier maker project. It should probably, I would think, last the entirety of the 2 hours. If it doesn't, we'll probably just hang out and chill for the rest of the stream. But I think it's going to be pretty contentious. I did the math. I think there's like 14 or 13 Zelda games I've played that I can rank. And the other ones, obviously, other people will be weighing in and tell me about as well, because I don't really know about all of them. I didn't play many of the, or any of the handheld ones. So, I hope you'll join. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be contentious. It's a great way to build up the hype for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom later this week. That's tomorrow night. Okay, guys? Thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed everything today. Sorry there was no late stream, but we're back to normalcy tomorrow. Have a good night. See you in the morning. Peace out.